नंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी यमुना तीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे राधा वृंदावन बिहारी राधा वृंदावन बिहारी राधा वृंदावन बिहारी राधे राधे। जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we'll be reading today's verse and purport, and then we will be describing the glories of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Today happens to be Gita Jayanti and Mokshada Ekadashi, the day on which Krishna spoke Gita to Arjuna, and we are fortunate to discuss that in today's class. So I will just read the translation and the purport of this today's verse. Shri Shuka Uvacha Bhaktayaitam Prapannaya Vidyamadish Naradaha Yayavangira Sasakam Dhama Swayambhuvam Prabho. Sri Shukadeva Goswami continued, Narada, having become the spiritual master of Chitraketu, instructed him fully in this prayer because Chitraketu was fully surrendered. O King Parikshit, Narada then left with the great sage Angira for the topmost planet known as Brahmaloka. Purport. We will just read the purport and understand a few things before we start speaking on Bhagavad Gita. When Angira had first come to visit King Chitraketu, he did not bring Narada with him. However, After that, the death of Chitraketu's son, Angira brought Narada to instruct King Chitraketu from about Bhakti Yoga. The difference was that in the beginning Chitraketu was not in a temperament of renunciation, but after the death of his son, when he was overwhelmed by his great plight, he was awakened to the platform of renunciation by instructions regarding the falsity of this material world and material possessions. It is only at that stage that Bhakti Yoga can be instructed. As long as one is attached to material enjoyment, Bhakti Yoga cannot be understood. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam, taya paruta chetasam, vyavasayatmika buddhir, samadhauna vidhiyate. In the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination of devotional service to Supreme Lord does not take place. As long as one is very much attached to material enjoyment, one cannot concentrate his mind on the subject matter of devotional service. The Krishna consciousness movement is progressing successfully in the Western countries at the present moment, because the youth in West have reached the stage of vairagya or renunciation. They are practically disgusted with material pleasure from material sources. And this has resulted in a population of hippies throughout the Western countries. Now, if these young people are instructed about Bhakti Yoga, Krishna consciousness, the instructions will certainly be effective. As soon as Chitraketu understood the philosophy of Vairagya Vidya, the knowledge of renunciation, he could understand the process of Bhakti Yoga. In this regard, Srila Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has said, Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga, Shikshartameka Purusha Purana, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari Kripam Madhiryas Tamaham Prapadya. Vairagya Vidya and Bhakti Yoga are parallel lines. One is essential for understanding the other. It is also said, Bhakti Parishanu Bhava Viraktir Anyatra Cha. Advancement in devotional service or Krishna consciousness is characterized by increasing renunciation of material enjoyment. Narada Muni is the father of devotional service. He wrote Narad Bhakti Sutra. So, he's the father of devotional service. Another reason why he's called father of devotional service is because Brahmaji specifically instructed Narad Muni to preach Bhakti, Shuddha Bhakti all over the world. So therefore, he told Kumaras to preach knowledge, but he told Narad Muni to preach only Bhakti, which includes Gyan and Vairagya. Knowledge and renunciation automatically include devotional service, automatically and naturally include knowledge and renunciation. Trying to practice renunciation separate from Bhakti is very artificial, but practicing devotional service automatically leads to natural kind of renunciation. Should lead to natural kind of renunciation. By the way, the renunciation doesn't mean renounced order. Renunciation means renunciation of false ego that I am the enjoyer. Whether one is in Grihastha ashram or Brahmacharya ashram or any ashram, sannyasa ashram, the renunciation means renouncing the concept that I am the enjoyer of this world. The world is meant for my selfish enjoyment. That is a renunciation. And this world is, everything that I see around me is meant for Krishna's enjoyment. Everything that is pure and to be offered to Krishna is meant for Krishna's enjoyment. That is renunciation. So, anyone, man, woman, brahmachari, sannyasi, grihastha is renounced if he or she thinks that things around me are for Krishna's enjoyment. Things around me and including me are for Krishna's enjoyment. Therefore, just to bestow causeless mercy upon King Chitraketu, Angira brought Narad Muni to instruct the king. These instructions were extremely effective. Anyone who follows in the footsteps of Narad Muni is certainly a pure devotee. Okay, Hare Krishna. So this was about today's Bhagavatam verse, which highlights that if somebody is sincere, he cannot, as they say, eat the cake and have two. Like some people have the conception, okay, now I know about Krishna. On one hand, I will try to serve Krishna, and on the other hand, I will also try to enjoy material life. So that's a very beginning stage of neophyte stage of bhakti, beginning stage of bhakti, where one thinks that one can do both. It's not possible because these two things are poles apart. Varuni diggatam vastum vrajam indrim kim apnuyat. It is mentioned that if you want, if a thing is kept here, you cannot reach it by going on the opposite direction. So similarly, Vishayavishta chittanam Vishnu avesha sudurlabha. If our minds are allured or tempted towards sense gratification, it's not possible to concentrate on Krishna. So today is Gita Jayanti, so we'll try to understand some lessons from Gita, from each chapter. Kind of overview you can think, and some practical applications of that. Hare Krishna. So the background of this is we can chant the prayer to Krishna speaking Gita. Two prayers we will chant and then we will continue. Prapanna parijataya totra vetraika panaye jnana mudraya krishnaya gītāmrita duhe namaha. Prapanna parijata. Prapanna means surrendered soul. Parijata means always one who always gives protection. Okay. Prapanna parijataya. Obeisances unto that Krishna who will always protect the surrendered soul. Totra vetraika panaye. In one hand he is carrying the reins and the stick to control the horses. Okay. Of chariot of Arjuna. And with second hand, Jnana Mudraya, Krishnaya. This is Jnana Mudra. Because he is speaking Gita. And it also looks like Gītāmrita duhe nama. Looks like the way you make gesture while milking a cow. Okay. So this is Mudra for milking a cow also. So Krishna in Jnana Mudra also means he is milking the Gita. Gita, the Upanishad cow. The cow of scriptures. And the milk is Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopala Nandana. Very interesting, right? Something peculiar here. Sarvopanishado Gavo and Gita speaking Krishna. Dogdha Gopala Nandana. Is something peculiar here? Do you find? When I say Sarvopanishado Gavo, Dogdha Gopala Nandana, the one who is milking the Upanishad cow is Gopala Nandan. Gopala Nandan. No, something peculiar in a sense that Gita is spoken by Dwarkadhish Krishna, right? But here the glorifier says Gopala Nandana. Son of Nanda Maharaj is speaking Gita, he's saying. Isn't that striking? So that actually means that Krishna in Bhauma Leela, the Vrindavan Krishna only, although Vrindavan Krishna doesn't leave Vrindavan, but he only in the Bhauma Leela in one form covers his identity as Nanda Nandan and takes a garb of Vasudev Nandan and goes to Dwarka. Is it too complex? No, right? Inside he is Nanda Nandan only. And therefore he is remembering Radharani and Lalita Vishakha and others. And mother, father, Yashoda, Nanda Baba. So he is the one at Kurukshetra only. He is only telling Arjuna, Man mana bhava mad bhakta. We'll come to that. So something interesting I have pointed out, I observed, therefore I shared with you. Sarvopanishado Gava Dogdha Gopala Nandana. Son of Nanda Maharaj is the Dogdha of Gita or Upanishad. And milking the cow to give us the milk, which is Gita. Partho Vatsaha Sudhir Bhokta. Partha is the Vatsa or the calf. And Sudhir Bhokta, intelligent person, is the enjoyer of that milk. And Dugdham Gita Amritam Mahat. So this is the introductory prayers we offered to Gita. And let's try to understand what each chapter is highlighting, or what can we understand from that. So chapter 1, Arjuna is in the conception of, he is in dilemma. He is in confusion, he is in trouble, to the extent that it is reflecting on his body. He is a Kshatriya, he is brave, he is equanimous, and he is equipoised, and yet the situation makes him tremble. Sidanti mama gatarani mukham cha parishishyati. My hands and my limbs are trembling. Not because it is winter in Kurukshetra, but trembling because of fear. That what will happen if I engage in this ghastly war? What will happen to my relatives? How will I feel? How will I tolerate separation from Bhishma and Drona? First of all, how can I even shoot arrows at them? They are my superiors. I am supposed to throw flowers at them, not arrows. So how is it possible for me? There are different conceptions based on, so this is also a conception arising from thinking that I am the body and everything related to this body is mine. Okay. Of course, Arjuna is not in that conception. Arjuna is Nitya Siddha, devotee of Krishna. But he is playing the role, and he is playing the role very properly. And Arjuna is perplexed and doesn't know what to do. And he is approaching Krishna, not in the first chapter, but his dilemma is explained. Observing the armies, he sees the armies and he becomes bewildered. Oh, these are all my relatives. So the thing is, as long as any person thinks in terms of me and mine, in terms of externals, that body and bodily relatives, then definitely there will be fear, definitely there will be lamentation. Why? One cannot check it. Because the relationship is based on bodily attachment. And body is definitely, it is defined or inevitable, programmed to grow, dwindle and die. Right? So we are betting on wrong horse. So we are bound to lose. Of course we don't gamble, but it's just a metaphor, analogy. So Krishna is taking Arjuna's horses right in front of Bhishma and Drona. He could have taken in front of Duryodhana and Dushasan, and Arjuna would not be bewildered by that. But when Arjuna said, take my chariot in between the two armies. And which spot did Krishna select? In front of Bhishma and Drona. Face your fear. The first lesson from Gita. Like, which is the most fearsome thing that you are. So face that. Don't run away from the fear. Face your fear. And win the internal battle first. And then it is easy to win then it doesn't matter where you win the external battle or not. Win the internal battle with my principles, with my mind telling two different things, with the comparative principles. Arjuna is the person of principles. So inside his heart there is no war between dharma and adharma. There is war between apara dharma and para dharma. There is no war between irreligion and religion inside Arjuna's heart. I have to win that war also first. And then there is higher war, which is inside the mundane level duties and the higher duties in Krishna consciousness. So that is where Arjuna's war is at higher level, my war is at lower level, like fighting with the senses, pulling me towards sinful reactions, and then there is duty towards Krishna. So there is, there is, we can say, tougher war inside my heart. So instead of fearing the fear, we need to face the fear and win the internal battle based on the higher consciousness. Okay? And for that, we need help. So we come to second chapter. Whom does Arjuna surrender to? Krishna. He says that Karpanya doshopahata svabhava pruchhami tvam dharma sammoodha cheta yachreyasya nishitam bruhitan me shishyasteham shadi mam tvam prapannam. I want to know what is ultimate good. Shreya means ultimate good. What is my ultimate good? I cannot find it myself because dharma sammoodha cheta. I am bewildered regarding my duty, what is to be done, what is not to be done. Okay? When one is affected by rajogun, tamogun, for a lesson for a sadhaka, naturally he cannot ascertain what is my duty at particular point of time. Okay? And at that time it is mandatory that we take help from Guru Sadhu Shastra. Okay, just like Arjuna took here the help from Krishna. So Krishna for us gives guidance through Guru Sadhu Shastra. Okay? So no self-help book will also help. Why? Because mundane self-help book, first of all I should know what is self. And then there could be self-help. Right? Like in outside mundane world, the best they can have in terms of hierarchy of existence is Maslow's hierarchy. You know Maslow's hierarchy? There is the ground level where you complete the bodily needs. Then there is higher needs, and then at the end there is self-actualization. But these are all according to whatever they have modern whatever psychologists and others philosophers have presented. It is all based on bodily conception, gross or subtle body. At the conception of mind, it ends at that. It's not based on the conception of soul, and therefore it cannot be real self-help. It could be little mind help and little body help, but not self-help. So Krishna has taken shelter of, Arjuna has taken shelter of Krishna, and Krishna is now, first thing Krishna is appealing to Arjuna is to think from the platform of soul. Think from the platform of soul and then act from the platform of soul. Okay, the problems will not be solved by staying at the same state of existence. Okay, right now I am suffering because of bodily conception. Those will only be solved if I raise myself on top of that. Something you can think of, struggling inside quicksand or quagmire. You know what is quagmire? Quicksand, yeah. Like it's a kind of wet land where one, muddy land where one puts step inside, like one keeps sinking and sinking and sinking. So even if one tries all his best, the more he tries, more he sinks faster. So the help should come from the higher platform. That is the point. So to escape from quagmire, help should come from higher platform, One should uplift oneself from the to the level of soul, and then only one can uh, one can deal with the situation. Another important concept in second chapter, Krishna tells Arjuna, is about samatvam yoga uchyate, becoming sthita pragya and coming to the platform of samatva, or having equal mind towards happiness and distress, cold and heat, honor and dishonor. So, so that platform uh, is achieved only by coming to the consciousness that I am Krishna's servant. I do not belong to this world. This is not my home. This world is not my home, nor can I have any permanent home here. Okay? We are all living in this body. This body is, you can say, it's a house on rent. Okay? It's not house of our ownership. It's a house on rent. So anytime the house owner can tell that, okay, not even, there is some notice period, right? Did you have to, yeah, they give some 11 months or 9 months of notice period, like, before you empty the house. But this house is such that we don't even know the notice period. Like anytime, like any moment, we may be asked to vacate. Vacate without notice. And there is no choice. So, before that happens, we have to find our permanent home within, that is Krishna's shelter. That is a permanent home that we will carry everywhere. So so that is Sthita Pragya state. And once we find our permanent home, then we are not always in the anxiety of, oh, when will I have to vacate? Oh, when will I what is the last date? We won't have that anxiety. So this is called Brahmi Sthiti, and this has to be achieved within this lifetime in the material world. I cannot say, let the situations be good, let the situations be better, let the weather be better, then I will take to Krishna consciousness. No, I have to tell myself, Krishna is telling Arjuna, Antavattu ime deha nityasyokta sharirina. This body is definitely going to end, so expect this change and anticipate it and expect it. Do not just be in a euphoria. What is it called? Euphoria, right? That things are going to be steady forever. Even if right now I am healthy, tomorrow my health may go down. Even though right now the situations may be good, tomorrow it may not be good financially or health-wise, clinically, medically. So the idea is to be freed from it while staying within the chaos. So doing bhakti within the chaos. That is another lesson from chapter 2. What does Krishna say to Arjuna when Arjuna asks, what is Sthita Pragyasya ka bhasha? Samadhistasya Keshava? How does a self-realized soul act? Does he say, oh, he never faces any trouble. Oh, he never faces any happiness. Oh, he never faces any distress, material happiness or distress. What does he say? Dukkheshu anudvegna mana, sukheshu vigata spura. Happiness will come and distress will come. But dukkheshu anudvigna mana. He is not agitated within distress. And sukheshu vigata spura. In material happiness, he is not attached. Tomorrow he is traveling by Mercedes. Tomorrow he may have to travel on bullock cart. So he's not affected by that. And day after tomorrow he may have to walk. Not even bullock cart. So he's not affected by that. So Krishna is telling us to do bhakti and fix our mind in Krishna while dealing with the chaos of this world. And there is personally customized chaos for everyone. I cannot even choose my chaos. Like, oh Krishna, let the problem come in this way and in that way and to this extent. No, it is not within my control. Like it is customized based on my own karma and by Krishna's desire, what material situation I will be in. And I just have to adjust with that. Like Arjuna, when he was born, he might not have planned for this Kurukshetra war, right? Like things were happy, things were going on nicely. Who knew that Duryodhan would turn out to be wicked? Of course, Vidura knew. When Duryodhana was born, it is mentioned that all the sky become dark and the donkeys started braying and all the inauspicious symptoms started manifesting. But anyways, so now he has to face the situation, and within that, he has to be Krishna conscious. So a lesson for us that within the other day we were going for book distribution, and my friend Raghunath Puri, he was he was asking that, do we even have choice to choose our miseries? We were discussing and then I said, no, you may say to Krishna, like you may tell Krishna, slap me on this cheek. But he may not even do that, like, he will slap us in other cheek if he wants, like, he knows what is the best for us. And so we cannot even choose the form of our miseries. We just have to face the fear and be Krishna conscious, be ready for the chaos and be Krishna conscious, practice being steady within chaos. Then it is easy to be steady within steadiness, right? If we practice to be steady within chaos. just a thought came to my mind. Rather any practices to walk on slippery floor in darkness and where on a thorny land. Why do you think she is practicing? Yeah, to meet Krishna, she is simulating the forest atmosphere in her courtyard. Simulation, flight simulation. When the pilots, before they are trained, they are put in a simulator room where whatever instruments you handle, they give a kind of real life experience. And if you push the wrong button, you may get a jerk, like in that simulation room. Of course, it will not crash land like the actual airplane, but similar to that. So of course we don't have to do that in our life, but so gopis are practicing like that, like trying to walk on slippery land on a like without making sound of the ankle bells, so that when the real situation comes at night, they can escape and meet Krishna and serve Krishna and please Krishna. So we can think that this chaos around us is like a simulator where we are given net practice before we play our real match, where we prepare ourselves real match at the time of death, where things will be super chaotic. So right now we think that, we are facing so much chaos and disorder. So think of what will happen at the time of death, So we're preparing for that. All right. A very nice quote by Madhusudan Saraswati Thakur. He says that those who have come to Krishna consciousness or those who have realized something about spiritual life, for them, they should not behave like ordinary people. Right? Ordinary people who have no knowledge of spirituality. So they will easily get bewildered in any situation. But a devotee should, he writes, Yasya tu vastu darshanam tasya na viparita darshanam. Yasya tu viparita darshanam tasya na vastu darshanam. One who is seeing the reality cannot see illusion. And one who is seeing the illusion cannot see the reality. So our job as a devotee is to insist to see the reality. Yeah, not see the externals, but to see the reality beneath the externals. Okay, see beyond the situation. Okay, external situation may be happiness and distress, but beyond this may be Krishna's hand. Okay, external situation may be good health or bad health, but beyond this is my desire to approach Krishna and serve Krishna despite the external situation. Okay, so that is another lesson from chapter 2. I am not sure how many chapters we'll be able to cover, but let's see. Then we'll move to chapter 3. In chapter 3, Krishna is bringing a very important concept of how a soul is bonded and how the soul could be liberated. Okay? So Krishna says, Yajñarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhana tadartham karma kaunte mukta sangha samachara. Just like milk, over drinking of milk has caused indigestion, then same milk could be used as medicine by converting it into curd, right? Curd has particular bacteria. What are they called? Lactobacteria, right? They are good for this indigestion, right? So same milk, but in a different way, is used to cure the indigestion. So similarly, working for selfish interest has caused the bondage, has caused this body and caused the bodily situations and caused the different happiness and distress around. Same work, if offered to Krishna and performed in a way of detached spirit, can liberate me from bodily conception of life. Okay? Same way it bound me, same way it can unbind me. Right? So therefore this conception of Krishna is explaining to Arjuna that you now start working for me. You have the nature of Kshatriya, then what is that 18th chapter verse? Where it says that Swakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindanti manava. Sweswe karmani abhirata yata pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindanti manava. Yeah. So based on our psychophysical nature, we have developed a certain kind of nature. Psychophysical activities, we have developed certain nature. So offer that particular dharma to Krishna, and this is the beginning of connecting with Krishna through karma yoga. And then there are higher ways of connecting with Krishna through bhakti yoga. Okay. But at least doing this will guarantee that one will become free from bodily conception of life. And then what is the number one enemy between me and Krishna? That comes in between me and Krishna. Lust. Lust is the obstacle which will not let me do karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga or bhakti yoga. It's obstacle in all paths, even in karma kanda. A sinful enemy of all souls is this lust. Kama esha, krodha esha, rajogana samudbhavaha, mahashano mahapapma vidhenam ihavairinam. One cannot even compromise or negotiate with lust, telling the lust that, oh, we will enjoy only this much. No, lust is sinful and all devouring. If we, like in Hindi we say, ungli diya to हाथ पकड़ लेता है, हाथ दिया तो गला पकड़ लेता है. For those who, to translate roughly in English, it's like if you give finger, Maya or lust will catch our hand. If we give our hand, Maya will catch our throat. Like, So the better thing is not even give your finger to lust. Stay away. Like, or show finger to the lust. Don't even look in that direction. See in the other direction. That's what Krishna is saying. Uh, what is that? Tasmat tvam indriyani adav niyamya bharatarshava. Papmanam prajahi yenam jnana vijnana nashanam. There is no question of compromise or making any truce with lust. One has to kill this enemy as soon as possible before the enemy kills us. Both are with like from distance we are at that crosshair. Lust with the sniper in his hand, and we are at the crosshair. So we also need to have a sniper to fight with the sniper. That we cannot go with the revolver. So that sniper is tasmattam indriyani tani sarvani sanyamya yukta asita matpara. That is our sniper. So this is chapter 3. Then we move on to chapter 4, where Krishna is mentioning that his real mission in this world to create glorious pastimes so that three things happen simultaneously. The demoniac people are destroyed, the sages are protected, and dharma is established. Okay, this world is running based on dharma. Okay, all troubles come because of adharma. And what is dharma? The true nature. The true nature of everything is dharma. So true nature of everybody is to act for Krishna. That is the dharma. And once one follows that dharma, true nature of everybody is to engage the senses in Krishna's service. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vetti tatvata tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mamiti sorjan. So to live life happily in this world and to go to happy destination after this life, for both dharma only sustains it. Dharayati iti dharma. The one that gives meaning to our life is dharma. So Krishna establishes that dharma. Our Acharya says both dharma Krishna established, Bhagavad dharma and Varnashram dharma. Bhagavad dharma for those who have developed bhakti shraddha, and Varnashram dharma for entire society's benefit. Okay. And then Krishna mentions that there are different sacrifice. Sacrifice means anything around us, whether koi vastu, vichar ya kruti, any object, activity or person, anything around us will become sacred when connected with Krishna. That is the idea of sacrifice. Sacrifice, making sacred. Okay. So that is the verse from 4th chapter. Brahmarpanam brahmavir brahmagno brahmanahutam brahmaiva tena gantavyam brahma karma samadhina. Everything engaged in brahma karma, its result is transcendental, its ingredients are transcendental, its doer is transcendental. Brahma arpanam, to whom it is offered is also transcendental. Brahma havir, Brahma agni, Brahmana ahutam, Brahma eva tena gantavyam. He will go to Brahma only. Brahma karma samadhina. By always meditating on doing one sacrifice after another sacrifice for Krishna. So it's a series of sacrifice. And which sacrifice is good for me? How do I know? Approach whom? Tadvidhi paranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Tattvadarshina, those who have seen the truth, they can reveal the truth. And they can give me the best guidance. And in chapter 5, Krishna is explaining to Arjuna how to act. So Krishna says, while doing all the activities, do not take the doership. That unmission nimission napi. That starts with, while doing all the activities of the body, do not think that you are doing, you are acting. And at the same time, he is saying non-doership doesn't mean non-activity. That means it doesn't mean that I stop engaging in work. Because Krishna has already said in 3rd chapter, Sharira yatra pichate na prasiddhe da karmana. Even ajagara vritti, even Python has to work, right? He has to swallow the prey which has come by destiny in front of him. But even he has to do some work. Okay? So this is the concept, to be free from egoism and doership and lose faith in sense gratification. Lose faith in sense gratification. Ye hi samsparshaja bhoga dukkha yonaya evate adyantavanta kaunteya nate shuramate buddha. And Srila Prabhupada gives a counter verse in that. What does he say? Ramante yogino anante satyanande chidatmani iti ramapade nasau parabrahma vidhiyate. So, as soon as we start taking pleasure in Krishna, we will start losing taste in temporary. That like that the minister is told, like the king draws a line and tells the minister to shorten it without touching it. So how does he shorten it? Drawing a bigger line. So similarly, sense gratification will only become insignificant by drawing a bigger line of Krishna consciousness. Okay, there is no other way. We cannot change the system. Oh, let the palatable dishes appear non-palatable to me. That cannot happen. Come on, that is indriyasya arthe raga dvesha vyavasthito. Arrangement is there, I cannot change it. I can just change my response. I cannot now order let sugar not appear sweet to me anymore. Can I do that? No. I can regulate my intake of sweet. That I can do. And I can take only that sweet which is offered to Krishna. That I can do. With the consciousness of pleasing Krishna. That I can do. But I cannot change the nature of sweet and the nature of my tongue. Oh, tongue. Don't experience sweetness when I put sugar on you. So we cannot do that. Okay. Then chapter 6, Krishna explains the basic understanding that keep the platform clean. Yukta hara viharasya, yukta cheshtasya karmasu, yukta swapnava bodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkhaha. So, for a practicing devotee, it is important to keep the surrounding clean, to surrounding favorable. मेरा चरित्र पवित्र होना चाहिए, मेरा खान पान पवित्र होना चाहिए, मेरा बोलना चलना पवित्र होना चाहिए. Then it is easier for me to practice yoga. Okay? So therefore yukta hara vihar, sleeping more than necessary will put me into tamagun, which is apavitra. Then I cannot practice yoga. Sleeping less than necessary will put me in rajogun. Okay? So maintain the sattvic platform, keep the platform of sattva, and practice transcendental devotion. And then remedy to quiet the mind is given. What is that remedy to quiet the mind? Control the mind? Huh? Yeah. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha gruhyate. Yeah, practice bringing the mind to Krishna and vairagyana cha gruyate. Try avoiding things unrelated to Krishna. Chapter 7, Krishna cautions everybody that it is not possible with our own endeavor to go beyond Maya. Because we are Jiva Shakti. By constitution, we are very minute. And without the higher help, we cannot, Maya is very strong, we cannot overcome Maya. It is not within our capacity. Which verse? Devi esha gunamai mama maya duratyaya mame vaya prapadyante maya metam taranti te. Devi hi esha gunamai. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, Devi hi esha. This Maya, gunamai, mama maya duratyaya. So I have some thoughts on this. Why Krishna says, I tried to find why, if any Acharya has commented on esha. Esha means this. Like when I say, this Nitai Chaitanya Prabhu or this Nakul Prabhu, like, here, like that. So why Krishna is saying, Devi Esha Gunamai? He could have said, Devi Sa Gunamai, that Maya. Or like, why does he say Esha Gunamai? I tried to find Acharya's commentary, I couldn't find any comment on this. So I tried to come up with my own explanation based on, of course, the scriptures that I have read. One possible reason why Krishna says is Esha, because Arjuna is devotee and devotee doesn't see Maya. So Krishna has to bring it out to his attention. Esha Gunamai. Do you see? No. Devi Esha Gunamai. So considering Arjuna to be devotee, where Maya? I don't see Maya. Like, Devi Esha, this. Like catching hold of Maya's hand. This Maya. Esha Gunamai. Mama Maya Duratyaya. Another reason could be because Maya stands at the back of Krishna. So Krishna had to bring her forward. Devi Esha Gunamai. This Maya. Or because Maya is everywhere. And very close. So considering Krishna is instructing conditioned soul, Devi Esha Gunamai. Look anywhere, you will find Maya. Devi Esha Gunamai. You don't have to see far from telescope. You see around. Devi Esha Gunamai. Mama Maya Dharat. So these are few explanations. I don't know whether they are good or bad, but anyway. Mame vaya prapadyante maya metam tarantite. Only those who take shelter of Krishna means what? Take shelter of Krishna's internal energy. Okay? So hearing the call of Krishna from within, then he will become deaf to Maya's temptation. Inside our heart, Krishna is also shouting, Maya is also shouting. And which frequency I have tuned to, like, that will resonate. Now our job is to tune to frequency 108. Not to any other frequency. Like radio Mirchi and other karmi frequencies. Then we will hear only Maya's vibrations. Okay? We have to tune into 108. Krishna Gita frequency. Bhagavati frequency. And in chapter 8, Krishna is instructing Arjuna that manage your thoughts and desires because they will become your destination. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavita. So Krishna is saying to all conditioned souls, be responsible, don't live life as if there is no tomorrow. Like whatever I think right now, there are consequences. In fact, whatever I think right now, there are immediate consequences. Therefore, mind in our Yoga Shastra, mind is compared to Laksha. Do you know what is Laksha? Lack. In English, what do you call? Lack is English? Okay, yeah. So, uh, so what happens is whichever object we think of, our mind takes that shape. Did you know that? Our mind immediately takes that shape. Like not any object, the object our mind melts for, it takes that shape. Very, very super interesting phenomena. Just think about it. Any object our mind melts for with whatever emotion of affection, emotion of disgust, emotion of fear, emotion of any emotion, uh, enthusiasm, any emotion. With whatever emotion the mind for a particular object melts for, the mind takes that shape immediately. Okay? And if it keeps on taking that shape, then the body will also take similar shape in the next life. It starts with subtle and it will end up with gross. Okay? And therefore, it is not sufficient that we just keep Krishna's picture in front of our eyes. A remedy to that, a plus point, a positive side is our heart should melt for something Krishna. Then it will take that shape. Okay? Just like lac or wax, it melts, then it is put into a cast and it takes that shape. And it again melts, put in some another cast, it will take another shape. So our mind or heart melts for something, it will take that shape. So let's use it for our benefit and not. So devotee, what his practice should be, not allow the heart to melt for anything material, whether material relationship or material object or material achievement. One should not be over excited about material achievement or wealth or material relationship. Because heart will melt and it will take that shape. And as soon as it takes that shape, we are shaping our future birth. Okay? But if our heart melts for Krishna's name, form, pastime, melt in a sense, it will, when it starts melting, it will be called as bhava. But but we are practicing it. At least practice. What is sadhana? Kruti sadhya bhavet sadhya bhava sa sadhana vida. All practices done to attain bhava is sadhana. So therefore, allowing our heart to be exposed to Krishna and melt for Krishna with some emotion. That some emotion is important. Therefore, Narad Muni says, Tasmat kenapi upayana mana Krishna niveshayat. So kenapi anukulyena upayana. Jiva Goswami writes in the purport. With something, the heart should start moving at least. Not melting, then at least moving towards Krishna. Yeah? Heart should move towards Krishna at least in the mood of friendship or in the mood of belonging to Krishna or in the mood of eagerness for Krishna, Krishna Katha. So it should move towards Krishna. And then that will guarantee that next birth will be hope-giving. Alright, then, okay, I will now go a little faster. It's 9:06 already. But today's Gita Jayanti and Mokshada Ekadashi, so I can take little, can I take little liberties and go little over time? So let's cover all 18 chapters. What do you say? Yeah. But I will be brief. I won't hold you on for long. Okay, so chapter 9. First thing Krishna is advertising Bhakti Yoga as, and rightly advertising, Raja Vidya Raja Goyam. The biggest secret and the simplest secret. Simple yet secret. Yeah, the biggest secret. Raja Goyam. Pavitram hi idam uttamam. Pratyakshaavagamam dharmyam. So it is tangibly can be felt. The bhakti is like a spot transaction. One cannot say that today I will do bhakti and 1 year later I will feel happiness. It's a spot, rok vyavahar. In Marathi we call. What do you call in Hindi? Cash transaction or spot transaction. Ye haath se de, ye haath se le. So if we are doing bhakti properly, natural effect of that must be that I should be happy. The source of happiness, Krishna, the full bliss, Raso Vai Saha, and I am in touch with Krishna and I am feeling bored. How is it possible? That means I am not with Krishna. I am in touch with something else. Maybe my mind is coming in between. The anarthas are coming. I am in touch with anarthas, so I cannot touch Krishna. That is the reason. So this is the first. Now very interestingly, Krishna is so extremely appealing and canvassing all the souls to take to bhakti with so many verses like Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. Bhakti so easy to perform. Just like yesterday, Venudhari Prabhu was saying, there were no flowers to offer to Krishna. So they used to pluck the leaves from Mogra plant and offer to Gaur Nitai. Patram Pushpam Phalam Toya. Yome Bhaktya Prayachadi. Apiche Suduracharo. Even if your bad habits are forcing you to do wrong things, continue performing bhakti. Kshipram Bhavati Dharmatma. Very soon you will reform. And then do not think about your material anxiety. Ananyaschinta yantomam yajana paripasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. I will carry what you lack and I will protect what you have. You don't have to use your mental energy to protect what you have and what will happen to my possessions? What will happen to my relatives? You don't worry, you just worry about me. You fool. Krishna is telling conditioned soul like me. So it's a deal. Krishna says, you worry about me, I worry about you. How about that? So in chapter 10, Krishna is saying, you don't have to go to spiritual world to actually see me. You can see my vibhutis around and feel my touch. God is transcendent, God is immanent also. Every time you drink water, you can think of me. Every time you are in sunshine, you can think of me. Every time you are within moonlight, you can think of me. Every time you see Ashwatha tree or you won't see a lion, but if you see Mother Ganga, if you think of Garuda, if you think of Indra, anybody who is having extraordinary opulence, you can think of me. Pavana pavatamasmi. When you breathe air, you can think of me, Krishna is saying. When the air is touching you, you can feel my presence. So that way we are never out of touch with Krishna, whether by body, by mind or by words. Right? Only thing if you want to. So if you want to be in touch with Krishna, in any situation, circumstances we can be in touch with Krishna. If you don't want to, even while serving the deities, we will be somewhere else. So we are where our mind is. Okay. Chapter 11, Krishna instructs Arjuna to be in the mood of instrument. He says that I have done everything, you don't worry. Yeah, I have killed all Kauravas. The day they touched, they insulted Draupadi. That day only all of them are already dead. Now they are just dead bodies moving. You just send them to crematorium, that's all. They are already dead. You just do Antim Kriya for them by shooting arrows at them. You become Nimitta. Nimitta Matram Bhava Savyasachin. So it's not difficult to fight with dead men, right? So, they are dead already. It's done already. You just be the instrument. So similarly, a very beautiful example of in the life of Srila Prabhupada. So amazing the consciousness of a devotee is. Srila Prabhupada he started only two temples, I think New York temple and the San Francisco temple. And the devotees asked him, Prabhupada mentioned that my astronomer said that I will build 108 temples. So the devotees asked, 108 temples, we just have two temples. So where are the other temples? So Prabhupada said, no, they are already there. We just don't know the address. Krishna has built them already. We just don't know the address. Such an amazing way of course, Prabhupada burnt midnight oil to write his purpose, and he worked so hard to build each temple. But he's saying that Krishna has already built. I am just instrument. We just want to find, we just don't know the address of each temple. We are just looking for the address. Yes. Nimitta matram bhava savya sachin. So we can be instrument of Guru and Vaishnavas, and we can be nimitta, and that way we will do our duty and not become proud of what we have done. And chapter 11 also says that Krishna has both forms, fierce form and mild form. Fierce form in terms of Vishwarup and mild form in terms of Krishna. And both are important. One devotee wrote in Bhakti Shastri exam, Vishwarup, the question was write a note on Vishwarup, and that devotee wrote, Vishwarup is a fierce form. It is the indication of tough love for devotees, tough love for souls. It is Krishna's tough love for Krishna, for devotees, for souls. Okay, Vishwarup is Krishna's tough love for the souls. And Krishna's own form, as Shyam Sundar, is Krishna's, how do you say, soft love for for the souls. So both tough love and soft love, both are love only. Okay. So it is also a way of Krishna's, like mother beating and mother cuddling or caressing. Both are love of mother. So similarly, Vishwarup or Vrindavan Vihari, both are Krishna's love for the conditioned souls. Okay. 12th chapter says that Krishna is Krishna's kindness, that Krishna is so ready to negotiate. Mayyeva mada adhatso, mai buddhim niveshya. Oh, if you can't do that, give your mind fully to me. Oh, you can't do that? Okay. Then do sadhana bhakti, practice remembering me. Oh, you can't do that? Oh, then do other limbs of devotional service, Navavidha bhakti, other archana and other things. Navavidha bhakti practice you do. If you can't do that, this is Abhyas Yoga Nato, sorry. Then Matkarma Krut Bhava. Then bring water for me, construct temple for me. Like, if you can't even do that, then perform Nishkam Karma Yoga. At least do that. So that is how Krishna is so magnanimous. Like he is negotiating like a good business. So Krishna is from Gopa community, right? Vaishya community. So he's negotiating. Okay, you can't pay $1 million for this gold locket, which is rarest of gold. Okay, then pay a check. You can't pay cash. Okay, then pay a check. Pay a check is like doing sadhana bhakti. Post-dated check. Later on it will come. If you can't pay a check, okay, then work for me. I will give you daily wages. When you buy it on EMI. EMI, no, it is called. Monthly installments. So, if you can't do it, then what? At least advertise for it. Like and one day you will start earning, and then you can think of buying this golden locket of Krishna consciousness. That is how Krishna is so merciful in 12th chapter. In 13th chapter, Krishna is emphasizing that how to attain knowledge about Krishna is based on, not based on scholarship, but based on amanitvam adambhitvam. Only by these qualities, yasya deve parabhaktir, yatha deve tatha gurau, tasya te kathitaya artha. By gaining knowledge, one will understand how the super soul is placed, how the soul is placed, and how the material world is trapping the soul. And that is in more details explained in chapter 14. Our destination is based on our association. If we associate with Sattva Guna, we will go to higher planets. If we associate with Rajoguna, we will take birth here in the earthly planets. If we associate with Tamoguna, we will take the birth of cats and dogs. So one time I used to wonder, will we really take birth as cats and dogs? Then I thought, yeah, it must be true. We see cats and dogs, right? That means some soul has taken the birth of cat and dog for some reason. May as well happen to me, And we can transcend the modes. There is a good news. Mam chayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samati tetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Slowly he will transcend the modes. Chapter 15, Krishna says, aim for the spiritual world. Tatah padantat parimargatavyam. Know that beyond this world there is also my world. Natat bhasayate suryo na shashanko na pavaka yadgatva nanna nivartante tad dhama paramam mama. And even while you stay in this world, I am only maintaining you. Gama vishyacha bhutani dharayami hamojasa pushnami jaushadi sarva somo bhutva rasatmaka. So aim for that world. Tata padantat parimaritavyam. ढूंढ ले अब कोई घर नया. ए मेरे दिल कहीं और चल. ये गम की दुनिया है. यहाँ पे नहीं रुकना है. वो वहां पे जाना है. So, chapter 16 says that demoniac nature will Daivi sampad vimokshaya nibandhaya asurimata. More and more entanglement will happen by taking shelter of asuri bhava, asur bhava. And Krishna also mentions one must follow scriptures. Yash shastra vidim utsrujya vartate kamakarata nasa siddhim avapnoti na sukham na param gatim. And chapter 17 Krishna mentions everything should be done with sadbhave sadhubhave, with proper consciousness. Sattvic food is good, but better than that is sattvic food which is offered to Krishna, made for Krishna and offered to Krishna. Okay. So food is very important. Ahara shuddhav, sattva shuddhi, sattva shuddhav, dhruva smriti, smritir labdhe sarva granthinam vipramoksha. This means that simply by regulating our diet, eating Krishna conscious food in Krishna conscious mood, one can go back to God. Smritir labdhe sarva granthinam vipramoksha. Be freed. Chapter 18, we come to the last one. We made it. So only two things mainly Krishna is emphasizing. Surrender and remember. Surrender. Like Krishna is saying, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shucha. Do not worry. Do not hesitate. Just surrender. Just jump. I will catch. One time I remember one example by Rup Raghunath Prabhu. He gave an example about that surrender. So he gave one example of there is one Narad Kunda near Badri Ashram, right? Which is hot Kunda. And if one puts one finger to check how hot it is, it will burn, And but if you simply jump, close your eyes and jump into it, within few seconds you will feel all right. It won't burn. So similarly, if you try to see what bhakti is, should I surrender or not, it may appear little austere. But if you close our eyes and jump into it, then everything is fine. Right? And it's so funny, by closing eyes I am jumping into material quagmire. That time I didn't think twice. But jumping into love for Krishna, I am thinking twice. Oh, what will happen? Oh, is it good? Is it bad? And finally Krishna says, remember me. You have no other business. Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. You are so dear to me. Why don't you develop some love for me? Man mana bhava mad bhakto. You give your mind to me, worship me, always think of me, develop ruchi for naam roop guna leela of Krishna. That is the ultimate, that is the final instruction of Krishna. Do everything for me. Just do what I say. Just eat what I give you. Just be where I keep you. If I tell you to fight, fight. If I tell you to stop, stop. To Prithu Maharaj he said, don't fight. So Prithu Maharaj didn't fight. To Arjuna he said, fight. Arjuna fought. So be where I keep you. Eat what I give you. Don't worry about that. Your worry should be how to remember me 24 hours as much as possible. My naam roop guna leela maam anusmara yudhyacha. So this is Krishna's final. This is a path to bliss and path of bliss. Path to bliss and path of bliss. It is made up of bliss, and what will reach, one will reach is bliss also. Like our Gaur Govind Maharaj used to say, Krishna Katha is like moving from one point to another point in nectar ocean. Swimming from one point to another point. It doesn't matter from what point to what point. Because anyway you are in nectar ocean. Whether point A to point B or point Y to point Z, doesn't matter. Or whether you don't go from one point, you stay at point A only. Still it is fine. So that is beauty of bhakti. It is both sadhya and sadhan. And that is the instruction of Krishna. And with that, we will conclude here. So we offer our obeisances and prayers at lotus feet of Shri Arjuna. The way he said, Karishye vachanam tava, may we gain the strength and the blessings to always say Karishye vachanam tava to Krishna. And we offer obeisances to Srila Prabhupada and all the other acharyas. By their mercy, we can understand Krishna's heart. We can understand Arjuna's heart. And we offer obeisances to Gita Jayanti herself, Bhagavad Gita herself, that we follow the instructions of Gita and make our life, human life, successful. In this life only, we can gain the blessings of the acharyas and Krishna. Jai Shri Gita Jayanti Mahamahotsav ki, Shri Mokshada Ekadashi ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Nantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubheva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki Jai.